What is going on, everyone? I asked you guys what you guys would like to see in a video, and overwhelmingly the answer was the best strategy to use when it comes to trading. So this is that video. In my opinion, the best strategy to use when it comes to trading is the breakout and retest strategy. And I'm gonna go over how I am able to identify stocks that show us that they can possibly have a breakout retest, and how to trade these, risk manage, and all of that. So if that sounds exciting, make sure you guys hit that button and watch to the end of this video, because every part of this strategy is very important. Also, guys, we can all see what is going on with the markets. We've seen the overall market drop almost 4% in a single day, something we have not seen since COVID times. We see NQ, the tech heavy ETF, drop almost 6% in after hours. So if you guys want to know what is going on, is this a recession? Is this just profit taking? I'm going to go over all of that in a video, hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday. Also, guys, the first link in the description is going to be our private community, our school community, where I go over every trade that I take, my entries, my exits, and we keep you up to date on everything that is going on in the markets, so you guys are prepared. But for now, let's jump onto the charts. Alrighty, guys, so right now I am on TradingView, and this is kind of how the strategy works. So we have a supply level and we have a demand level, just like this. And what we are basically looking for is for a stock that is trading between these zones and finally breaks out on either side. It's very simple. That is basically all there is to the strategy, but I'm going to show you guys what I look for. So you find a stock that is trading between the supply and demand zones like this. And this usually happens in pre-market. Usually right at the open, you see the stock start to break out of this level like this, usually around 9:30. And that is kind of what I'm looking for. And I would like to see a comeback, retest this area, and show that it can hold this area and continue higher. So we have a supply level just like this over here, and we have a demand zone over here, or also known as support and resistance. On a higher time frame, we have a stock that is trading between these levels, and it finally breaks out on one side. So I'm going to show you guys in a real life example, and this is on Nvidia. So when I turn on my indicator, that gives me my supply and demand levels. And if you want to know what that indicator is, I went over it a bunch of times, but click the first link in the description. Go to the school community. If you go to the classroom tab, you'll find an entire video on how to use this indicator. Now, anyways, so what I do is I highlight my key areas, and you can see this is the 4-hour time frame. So this is a 4-hour resistance level, another 4-hour resistance level, and then we have our 4-hour support level, and we have another 4-hour support level, just like that. And then for our hourly time frame, we can do the same thing if we like, but for now I'm going to just show you guys on the 1-hour time frame. So we have something like this. I'm going to show you guys on the 4-hour time frame. So we have something like this, and this is exactly what I like to look for, which is a stock that has a supply level, also known as a resistance level, and it is rejecting this level. And if we go back, we can see this has previously been a support level over there. So if we highlight this area just like this, we can see this previous support level turned to resistance, and we patiently wait. We add a indicator, or we add a alert to see when this breaks out of this level. Now, if we fast forward a little bit, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I like to look for. So I'm going to go to a 5-minute time frame, and this is what I like to see. We can see a breakout on the 5-minute time frame right there, breaking out of this supply level. So we can see rejected, rejected, rejected on a higher time frame. We even rejected this in pre-market, but we are finally breaking above this level, and then we come back and retest this area. So this is what I want to see. It retests this area, and then we have a 5-minute green candle, and this tells me buyers are finally in at this level. And now we are entering this position. We're going to take a long position, and our take profit is going to be all the way up here. So our take profit is going to be all the way up here at the next supply level, and our stop loss is going to be down here. So our stop loss is going to be when this trade becomes invalid. So once we start breaking below 114, this trade becomes invalid, and as you can see, we have a 3-to-1 risk to reward, which means you are risking $100 so you can potentially make $300, or you're risking $1,000 to make $3,000. You're risking $1 to make $3. Now, am I going to sit and wait for this thing to come all the way to $126? And the answer is no. So I am going to take profits as this thing is going higher. So $120 is a psychological level that we can see some selling pressure. So I'll sell half of my position around here, and then around 123, maybe I'll sell a little bit more, or 122, I'll sell a little bit more. And that is how I manage and make sure that I take profits, especially in the markets that we are in, where there is not always a lot of follow through. Anything can make a reversal happen in the market. And now if we fast forward, we can see that we would have sold most of our position up here. Let's keep playing this. Actually, that was in pre-market. We would have sold most of our position right here at that first psychological level. And you can see how this affects stocks. And we sit in this trade until the trade becomes invalid. So right here, trade becomes invalid, and now we sell the rest of our position. So a small loss on maybe a quarter of our position, and we take profits on the rest of our position all the way up here. We see these types of opportunities every single day in the markets. You find a supply level, a demand level on a higher time frame, and you wait for a break of either side. So even looking at this side right now, you can take another position. So now that you see Nvidia breaking lower here, this has now become a demand zone that is breaking lower. We can see support, support, resistance, 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 support, support, and now we see a breakdown of this level, and you are able to short this position. Now, if you want to short this position, you make your stop loss where the trade becomes invalid, and you set your take profit to the next demand zone, and then you do the same thing. While this thing is dropping, you want to take profits off at psychological levels. It could be 112 over here, and then maybe you want to take a little bit off at 110, and then the rest of your position you sell down here at your full take profit level. And that is basically how I trade 90% of the time. I set my zones up, I wait for a breakout of either side, I wait till the stock retests the area, and sometimes if the stock does not retest the area and I want to enter a position, I take a small position at the breakout, and then when it retests, then I enter the rest of my position, and then I hold until the next key level, and my stop loss is where the trade becomes invalid. So guys, that is all for this video. If you guys feel like you learned a little bit something, or if this video helped you in any way, make sure you guys like and follow so we can send this out to other traders. Also, remember, our private community is the first link in the description. If you guys want to see what trades I am entering every single day, a watch list that is provided to you every single morning, make sure you hit that first link in the description. And that is all for this video, guys. Peace.